What was the Spanish Plate Fleet? A historical humans production. Throughout the 18th century, the Spanish Empire extracted truly massive amounts of wealth from imperial holdings across two continents. Transporting this wealth across the Atlantic Ocean past hostile empires, storms, pirates, and privateers to Spain was an equally massive undertaking. To solve this logistical nightmare, the Spanish Empire turned to plate fleets. But just exactly what were Spanish plate fleets? Spanish plate fleets were named for the plata, the silver coins that served as their cargo. For security, these fleets contained several dozen ships at the minimum, as naturally, literal shiploads of money proved to be a rather lucrative target. Spanish flotillas between 30 and 90 ships had been operating routes between Seville and the Spanish Main since 1560s. The typical fleet departed Seville for Veracruz, with ships detaching from the flotilla to reach the West Indies and Honduras along the way, and more vessels sailing further to Cartagena and Portobello. The vessels would winter in Spanish colonial ports before regrouping at Havana and making the return journey. By the 18th century, freer trade in America saw the Spanish flotillas decrease in size as vessels were removed from the convoys to seek out commercial opportunities elsewhere in the Western Hemisphere. The 1715 plate fleet consisted of only a dozen vessels. This fleet hauled a listed cargo worth, in terms of 18th century money, 7 million Spanish pesos. Due to trade disruptions caused by the War of Spanish Succession, this fleet was among the most valuable of the plate fleets to ever set sail, containing a total of 4 of the annual payloads sent to Seville. On July 31st, 1715, just 1 week out to sea, the fleet was struck by a storm that sunk 11 of 12 ships off the coast of Cape Canaveral, Florida. In response to the news of the disaster, both the Spanish and English sent ships to salvage the wreckage. The English efforts were less than legal and consisted of raiding the storehouses that the Spanish had set up in Florida, which was a Spanish colony at the time, to house the silver that had been fished from the wrecks. In total, the English made off with 120,000 coins in the raid. By 1716, repeated formal complaints from the Spanish government forced the English to declare any salvage efforts on the wrecks to be illegal, and order all vessels which had participated to return to port at once for the confiscation of their gains and criminal trial. This, combined with the highly lucrative profits from the illicit salvage operations and a general sense of alienation already existed amongst the English privateers who had been raiding the wreckage, resulted in a mass outbreak of piracy through the English colonies of the Caribbean and North America. The outbreak would give a renewed life of the golden age of piracy, a period of semi-lawlessness that would give rise to the Pirate Republic of Nassau and to such figures as Blackbeard, Calico Jack, and Anne Bonny. By 1719, the Spanish were forced to abandon their salvage efforts due to a lack of sophisticated diving equipment, with less than half of the lost treasure recovered from the sunken fleet. A similar disaster would strike the 1733 plate fleet, but with far different results. This time, the Spanish were prepared to respond to the disaster, likely as a result of having witnessed the debacle in 1715. This time, 9 gunships were dispatched to stake out the area of the wreckage and to protect and oversee Spanish salvage operations. They were so effective that they managed to recover more treasure than was originally listed on the fleet's manifest, a result of the common practice of sailors smuggling personal goods aboard ships to avoid import and taxes. By 1740, the Spanish plate fleets had declined to the point of non-existence, having been replaced by smaller, less valuable convoys and single-ship ventures. New commodities had replaced silver, silk, and spices, ferried from the Americas to Europe by the plate fleets as dominant trade goods. These were provided that the new powers such as the United States, Brazil, China, and India in such quantities that prevented competition from the Spanish. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like down below. If there's a topic that you would like to see, please leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Please be sure to check out all of our social medias down below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.